What was the transition mentally for you that said, okay, I got to stop. I need to own the land that I'm landscaping. What was that? Tell me about that journey.
Man, one of my mentors says, we're born looking like our circumstances, but we die looking like our decisions, and that hit home because a lot of times, people say I had it rough growing up, I'm a prisoner of my circumstances and stuff like that. But at a certain point, it's the decisions that we make, that dictate what our life is, and nobody cares about our circumstances after a certain amount of time in life, right? So that said, I was sick and tired of my circumstances, and realizing that I was the only one that can control it. I had to make a decision. I had to be decisive, man. And so making a decision, like incision, you're cutting something. A decision, you are cutting something away and going with what was not cut away, right? And once I made that decision, though, I still didn't know how I was going to finance these properties. And, I didn't know how I was going to fix them. I didn't know how I was going to pay to acquire them. None of that. But I was gathering knowledge along the way, and I made the decision that one way or another, this was going to happen for me. And I was going to give it everything that I had. And like I said, I didn't know how I was going to finance these properties. So it took about 3 weeks for me to find subject to. And I'm digging, man. I'm digging. I mean, I'm on YouTube, no money real estate, no money investing, no money houses, right? No credit check. And it still took me 3 weeks to find it from a person that I connected with and that I believed, I'm not for everybody and everybody's not for me, right? And there's other people out there that teach this stuff. So once I found that information, I knew in my heart and in my soul that this was the game changer. But here was the thing. I was running a landscaping company, so I didn't have a bunch of money set aside. So I had maxed out my credit cards, man. I emptied out my checking account. I had lost my job when I made this decision. But when I found this information, I locked myself in the basement for 3 months studying bits and pieces of information here, there. I'd watch an hour-long YouTube just for 1 or 2 pieces of information that I needed because that was the free stuff and that was what I could afford at the time. But I knew. Here's the other thing. If we want things to change in our life, right? If we're not happy with the outcome of our income, we have to change the input. It's just a gap in knowledge. And we make decisions based on a made up outcome, right? And so we'll decide not to do something because we feel like we'll get a negative outcome. Oh, I don't know anything about real estate. I won't be good at this. We're basing that on a future negative outcome that we've made up in our mind. Or we can say there's other people out here doing this. I know that I'm smart enough to do it. I just need the right information. So I'm going for it because I know I can do it. So now I've made up this outcome, a positive outcome in my mind, a future outcome. So you just have to make that decision. One way or another, if it's possible, there's other people out here doing it. That means that, you can too. And so that's kind of the way I live life as well. And that's been a game changer for me, man. I started this in my basement. I mean, people can go back to my YouTube and see that, because this journey, I've been on this journey from day one, because when I found the information, I was like, dude, everybody's got to know about this. So even when I was a nobody, man, like, not that I'm some great, big guy now, but when I had nothing and was getting my first houses all the way up until now, you can see that progression. So anybody can do it. You just have to decide, have the right information, and set your intention. This is the key right here, man. You make the decision, you set your intention, ignore distractions, continued learning, and with that, you gain confidence in your competence, and you're off.
I'm writing. I'm like literally writing that down.
To me, it's easy. It's like we have to set our intention. So we intend on reaching whatever goal that is. Now we have an objective, an ending point. So then we ignore distractions. Well, what is a distraction? Anything that's not pushing the needle closer to me getting to my goal. So I don't watch sports anymore, man. I might catch a highlight if I'm scrolling a little bit, but I don't have a team. I'm not a fanatic because they're not paying me and it's not helping me get closer to my goal. It's a distraction, right? So I ignore distractions and I give my attention to what's pushing the needle closer. In doing that, if I have continued learning of what I need to learn for whatever that objective is that I set, then I'm getting better and better each day. And so with that focused activity on that continued learning, I gain confidence in my competence. And when I'm confident that I'm competent enough to do something, I'll take action. That fear fades away. So to me, that's the recipe. And I've helped a lot of people around the country to become real estate investors that knew nothing about real estate or that were experienced in real estate and they wanted to scale. And then I've also helped people, to protect their assets, plan their estate, avoid litigation on a high level. So, you just have to have the right information and be willing to take action.
So even taking me back here to the landscape and company, I mean, there was an itch, an inkling inside of you, the entrepreneurial inkling from back then. I mean, did it start there? Or was there other, maybe, I don't know how to even say, I want to say it respectfully, but failed businesses before that one? Or like, where did this come from within you?
Yeah, I think I was a natural born entrepreneur. I mean, I was a below average student. I've quit and got fired from many a jobs. That I felt I should have moved up at when I didn't. And so I feel like I was always an entrepreneur. And then there were a couple of times where we attempted to start businesses, but just didn't have the financing, didn't have the money for whatever reason. I mean, hell, me and a friend were going to open up a liquor store when I was 23 years old. We had the space. Everything was going good for us. We did our research with another liquor store. And then we went in front of the city for zoning and we didn't get the zoning because it was less than 300 feet away from a church. So they wouldn't do a variance to make it shorter because somebody came and objected. So that shot down a dream, and I just knew though, as I'm working and I'm selling my time, that I can't make enough money selling my time. There's no job that I can do short of being a doctor or an attorney where I can sell my time and make enough money. So I've got to figure something out. So I started studying real estate, man, years before I actually started doing it, and it got to a point though where now I'm running this landscaping company. I had to work my way up doing that. I hated that job. And really the point for me, truthfully, was this. So my dad was a concrete finisher, man. So he didn't make much money. My mom had odd service jobs growing up, so we didn't have a lot of money. Well, when my dad would come home from work, he's a concrete finisher, man. So that concrete dust everywhere, he'd come home dirty. We'd run to kind of give him a hug or jump on him. And he hold on. At least let me take off my boots, or let me take a bath, and I would think to myself as a kid, like, geez, I just love you, Dad. I don't know, why you're mad about that. So fast forward, I'm running a landscaping company and, you running that weed eater, there's stuff shooting up at you and getting caught on your clothes. So I've got a 2-year-old daughter at the time and I came home from work and she ran up on me. And I felt myself start to do what my dad had did, like, oh, hold on, and I stopped myself, thank God, but I was conscious of that and I felt terrible about it. And I was like, man, something's got to change. Something's got to change. So from that moment on, that's why when I knew I had the first inkling of an opportunity that I was going to take it. And crazy enough, opportunity came when I actually thought the world was crashing in. We lost a deal and I lost my job. That was the opportunity that I needed. That changed everything. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't look, that's what God's grace is. When you have faith that it's already worked, then all work that we do works. It's either working on us or it's working for us. And if it isn't working for us right now, that just means we have to be open enough to letting it work on us until we become the person for whom it will work for. If you do that, man, you're off to the races.
What's going on, guys? If you like that clip right there, you will love the full interview. You can check that out right there. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe because we got a lot of big things coming up in the near future.